Okay, in this podcast I'm going to show you how to use factor label, which is nothing more than a problem-solving technique. You can solve problems without using factor label. Factor label makes it easier. Sometimes it's called dimensional analysis, fancy word. And it's not just to help you get the right answers, but nurses will use this to dilute a dose of medication. Engineers use it all the time, so it's a valuable skill to have, not just for chemistry, but for other stuff as well. So let's take a look. So before we get into the actual conversions, you need to know 3 metric prefixes. The kilo. The kilo is really big. If I have a kilogram or a kiloliter, or I'm running a kilometer, that's a big thing, right? So a kilogram is 1,000 grams. Kilo means I have 1,000 of the base unit. So 1 kiloliter would be 1,000 liters. 1 kilometer or kilometer is 1,000 meters. On the small side, we have centi and milli. So centi, 100 centigrams gives me 1 gram. So these are really small, right? I got 100 of these in a gram, and a gram is pretty small itself. I have 100 centiliters in 1 liter. I have 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So these are not on your packet. You want to write them down. The important thing is 1 kilo gives you 1,000 of the base units. The milli is 1 more order of magnitude smaller than the centi. So where I had 100 centigrams is 1 gram, now it's 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram, 1,000 milliliters is 1 liter, and 1,000 millimeters is 1 meter. So you have to know these. You won't get these on a test. You'll have to memorize them. All right, so let's say I have 400 milliliters and I want to convert it to liters. What I have to do is set up these factors. That's why we call it factor label. And I always include my labels, which means my units. So I always start with my given. I'm given 400 milliliters, and I have to convert it to liters. So I have this conversion from the previous table. I want my answer to be in liters, so I have to have some conversion that goes from milliliters to liters. And that, as we just said, was 1,000 milliliters give us 1 liter. Right? Now, you could look at this and say, maybe I should have it the other way around. I should have the 1,000 on top. Well, the nice thing about factor label is it tells you how to set it up. It tells you which of these goes on top. And that is because mathematically I want to be able to cancel my units. I want to cancel these milliliters with these milliliters in order to get an answer in liters. Okay? So this is just a 1 here. You can put it there if you want. If I do that, I get 0.400 liters. That's what my calculator might say, but because I've got 1 sig fig here, I'm going to have 1 sig fig here. So it's 0.4 liters. Or I can put it in scientific notation. It's 4 times 10 to the minus 1 liters. Alright, I want to convert 10 meters to millimeters. So I'm going to start with my 10 meters in the upper left. I know I want answer in millimeters. So I want a conversion to go from meters to millimeters, and I want my meters to be down here so that they cancel out, and I want what I'm going to up here. So remember we said 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters, so I want the 1 meter down here and 1,000 millimeters up here, and I get 10,000, or 1 times 10 to the 4th millimeters. Okay. I want to convert 73 grams to kilograms. I start with my 73 grams, that's my given, and I want to convert from grams to kilograms, and what I know is there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. I want the grams to come here so that those units cancel out. So grams to kilograms, that number's 1,000, that's 1, and my answer is 0.073. Okay, and I've got 2 sig figs, so I want 2 sig figs. I can rewrite it in scientific notation or just leave it like this. Both would be correct. Alright, I want to convert 0.02 kilometers to meters. So first of all, how many sig figs do we want? We call significant figures sig figs. Do I want in my answer? Well, I'm going to want as many as I have in my given. In my given, I have just 1. These are leading zeros, so they do not count towards sig figs. So I want 1 in my answer. So I'm going to start with 0.02 kilometers. I'm going to put kilometers down here so it cancels out, going to the units I want, which is meters, and then I'm going to put whatever I know about what that conversion is. Kilometers down here, meters up here, and it's 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, and my answer is 20 meters. Okay? Now, that, if I ask someone how many sig figs that is, they would say 1. So you can leave it like that, or you could leave it in scientific notation. Both would be correct. We want to convert 20 centimeters to meters. I start with my 20 centimeters, put the same units down here, convert to the units I want. This is the conversion factor, and this is what I'm going to have, right? Because I only have 1 sig fig here, I only want 1 sig fig in my answer. Okay? So if I left it in standard notation, it would be 0.2 meters, not 0.20, okay? By converting it to scientific notation and leaving just one digit there, I've taken care of my sig figs. Alright, 450 milliliters to deciliters. Now, deciliters is not one I asked you to memorize, and if I gave you this on the test, I'd give you the conversion. How many sig figs will we want? We've got just 2 here, so we're going to want 2 in our answer. I would start with 450 milliliters, and if you can imagine, if centi means 100, deci is going to mean 10. So I'm going to have 10 deciliters in a liter. So I put the milliliters here, and I'm going to put milliliters here, and deciliters here. So there's 100 milliliters in 1 deciliter. Okay? And the answer is 4.5. Convert 10 grams to kilograms to grams. I only want 1 sig fig in my answer. 10 kilograms. I'm going to put kilograms down here, grams up here. I know it's 1 kilogram, 1,000 grams. So I have 10,000 grams. If I want people to know that that's 1 sig fig, I could write 1 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4th. Grams. Okay. Alright, you want to convert milligrams to centigrams. So I have 935 milligrams. And I want milligrams down here. And if I go from milligrams to centigrams, that's going to be a factor of 10, right? 10 milligrams in 1 centigram. And I end up with 3 sig figs, just like here. Okay. 5.2 kilograms to milligrams. 5.2 kilograms. I want kilograms down here. I want milligrams up here. Okay. And it's actually, I need 6 zeros here, right? Because I got to go kilograms to grams, which is 1,000, and then grams to milligrams, which is 1,000, and 1,000 times 1,000 gives me this million here. Okay. Convert 175 milliliters to centimeter cube. Start with 175 milliliters. I want milliliters down here. I want centimeters cubed up here. Now, one of the nice things that you need to also know, this is one of the most useful conversions in chemistry, is that 1 milliliter is 1 centimeter cubed. Okay? So if I were to take a little square, 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, a little cube, and I filled it with water, it would be the same volume I'd have if I used 1 milliliter in the graduated cylinder. So you've got to know that. So 175 milliliters is 175 centimeters cubed.